I'm out the mix. I'm out the business. I can't do this shit no more. I should have been done when you had me put down, young boy.
Now, that was at the end of Season 1, and it's a scene we're going to constantly refer back to, because it's clear where Lou's head is. He's distracted, and it's definitely not in the game, and this is the reason why he's continued to be tested over and over again. Does he continue to follow the orders of Rock, or will something make him completely break away? Now, just to rewind it back, when we were first introduced to the Thomases, it was clear that Rock had everybody play in certain positions, but it was Lulu who was described as the man to get shit done and get shit done right. He was also the one person who Rock looked to for guidance, especially when it came to matters on the streets, and this scene showed how she had more trust in Lou than Marvin. But there's been various events that have played out since, and now we've seen a bit of a flip the script.
See, this is our older brother's problem right here. He don't listen. So focused on telling a new lie to cover up the old lie that he don't hear what I'm saying, would you shut the fuck up?
Now, that was in Season 1, with Rock talking about Marvin to Lou, but if you notice in Season 2, it's the polar opposite. She's constantly looking at Marvin and making comments about Lou.
Lou shook, Marvin. How about you?
I ain't scared of nobody.
But I really don't think Lou's scared. He's always been down for the family when it matters. The crux of the issue for Lou is, he wants out the game. He wants to be left alone to focus on music, and it all comes down to not wanting to end up dead or in jail. And the major turning point for Lou was D-Wiz. But regardless of what happened with D-Wiz, Scrappy, and him potentially losing his label, which we're going to discuss in a bit more detail later on in this video, he has stuck by Rock so far. And I say so far because everybody has their breaking point. Everybody has this point of no return, where they can't take it anymore, and Lou really is getting pushed to the brink.
I am relaxed. You just don't want to see me agitated, alright?
So now we're seeing what he's like when someone fucks with his business, and it's only gonna get worse. Now, I think this is a subject which has somewhat divided people in the comment section. There are those who think Lou's going nowhere and will remain loyal to the game and to Rock, but there are those who think Lou will eventually turn on Rock, especially considering he's told Rock once before he's out the game, and I really wouldn't be surprised if he says the same, only this time he means it, especially because there's going to be more at stake with the Italian mafia. But we'll be looking at both perspectives, Lou staying loyal and him potentially turning. So just to give this video some more background and context, this is what Malcolm Mays, who plays Lou, said in a recent interview. He just wants to be left alone to do his beats, but people keep messing with him. That's it. That's what it is. He wants to be left alone with his music, but there are those who want him in the streets, which he says he can do that, but only if they leave him alone, but they don't want to. So that's essentially what's coming. Now, the foundation was already set in Season 1, but it definitely makes more sense after the first few episodes of Season 2. He means he wants to be left alone by Rock, but Rock's essentially trapped him in the street game, because she made a point at the end of Season 1. His money is her money, his music studio is her music studio, and she's the one who keeps the lights on. And we're gonna come back to Lou's breaking point in just a moment, but let's have a look at how loyal Lou's been so far over the past season or so. Now, in Season 1, we saw Lou being presented an opportunity from Unique to turn on Rock, and he gave him an incentive of allowing him to do what he loves with music, which is a complete opposite of Rock. But Lou made a point of how he'll fly the same flag until he's buried in the ground, and so he put down a marker of where his loyalties lie. And despite him taking an eye off the game in Season 2, when Rock showed up and told him what the issue was and how she needed him back on the streets, he was there. He showed up for Rock and against the Italians, albeit he didn't agree with Rock's ways. He was there. He also agreed to answer the call when it came to family business, because it was Rock who was the one who was putting money in his pockets, as well as the music studio. But this is where it could also head the other way. He already made a point of how he was done after she made him kill D-Wiz, and we even saw how he was against killing Scrappy. He turned around and shut the door. But with Crown vs Lou building up ever since Season 1, and now that Rock has got involved, this definitely adds some extra spice. Crown wants him out of the music studio, and so does Rock, so no doubt they're trying to force him to lean on Rock even more, because what Lou did in Season 1 was a debt to equity swap. So all the money he loaned Crown, he used his muscle and turned it into a 50-50 partnership. So I think we all know where this is heading. With Rock pumping more money and keeping the expenses paid for in the music studio, we could see something similar where she does a debt to equity swap, because like she said in Season 1,
Your shit is my shit. For example, your recording studio. Yes, my recording studio.
We also saw her talking to Cartier about how he cleans his cash, and so maybe this is where the label comes in. And this is Lou's pride and joy, his music, this is what he loves, and this is what he somewhat has a connection to with regards to his father. He mentioned in season 1 how his father always used to bring him to the music studio, so you get the sense Lou and his father may have had a close bond because of music, similarly to why he gets along with Duke. But if you take this away, there really is no telling what Lou will do next, because this is his exit from the game. Now if you were to compare it to Ghost, he tried to leave the game, but he always had something pulling him back in, very similar to what Rock's doing with Lou, and very slowly we are seeing Lou get a little agitated. We're seeing the situation with Crown heat up, but it's what happens with Rock that's the main question. Does he turn, and does he tell her he's done once and for all, just like he did in season 1? But just take it one step further, because if there's one thing we've learned about Rock is, you can tell her you're done, but she'll find a way to keep you in the game. And this is why I think he really finds himself in a difficult spot. Now, something else which I really fear about Lou's character is, he has a tendency to take one eye off the game. He's shown it in season 1 and again in season 2. In season 1, he said he was taking the night off after he signed the partnership for Bulletproof Records, but there are no nights off in this game, and it almost cost him his life. In season 2, he's late to meetings, he turns down work, and he's also refused to answer Rock's pages without knowing what the issue was. Who knows, Rock could have been in trouble herself. Marvin could have got into trouble with a situation where he needed backup, but he was just focused on his music and ignored his sister's call. So I really do fear one lapse in judgment or taking one out of the game could end up being costly, especially with the Italians being introduced. We know from the synopsis for episode 5, they're gonna follow Rock and Kanan to the Catskills, so what makes you think they won't do the same with Marvin and Lou? So the turf war with the Italians will heat up, and no doubt, it will bring consequences. But elsewhere with Lou, we know he's got a special bond with Duke, but how does things change if he's forced out the studio, and with Ziza taking her song, because that has Crown stink all over it, so that's something to bear in mind. And also with Kanan, we saw Lou and Kanan playing chess in episode 1, and a bit more interaction between them in season 2 compared to the first. But are they building this up to potentially put a sword in their relationship? And Kanan finding out Lou was the one responsible for D-Wiz is definitely something we should consider. But that's a breakdown of where we are with Lou, the mindset and thought process behind his character. So the question I have for you is, do you think he'll stay loyal, or will he break away and turn on Rock? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and of course if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.